Morning, guys. Everything new under the sun. Well, we talk about the poisoning of the oceans, and that's one of the end-time Bible prophecies. Now, it's not specifically going to be or completely going to be due to Fukushima, but I saw this article and I thought I would do a little bit of an update because this is significant, and this is an issue that the world has not dealt with. It doesn't appear to be dealing with, and you don't see it on the mainstream media news. But these water containers that are holding all the radiation full water, nuclear water, these are aging, and these are also full. And this is going to be a problem. They don't know what to do with this water. Contaminated Fukushima water storage tanks close to capacity, TEPCO admits. The Tokyo Electric Power Company is running out of container space to store water contaminated by tritium outside the Fukushima No. 1 nuclear power plant. It's also running out of room for building more tanks. What are they going to do with this stuff? This is according to Yomiuri Shimbun, a Japanese newspaper, which is creating an intractable problem for the utility, i.e. reporting on, which has been tasked with supervising the cleanup of Fukushima. It's been years now since this happened, and TEPCO really hasn't done much to resolve the issue. There's still nuclear rods in the ground as far as I know, nuclear waste. They're pumping out water, putting it in all these storage containers. But what good does that do? This is still a world problem. Look at all these storage containers in the image there. The Japanese government has been desperately trying to accelerate the cleanup ahead of the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, and it's a miracle it hasn't run into this issue sooner. TEPCO is still struggling with how to dispose of tritium-tainted water. Options discussed have included dumping it into the ocean, but that proposal angered local fishermen. What's the point of storing it all if they're simply going to dump it into the ocean? Which is it's incredible that that's even an option. But there's groundwater running into the base of the nuclear power stations, and so there's an ever new supply of radiation-filled water or contaminated water, and so they'll have to do this for eternity if their plan is only to continue to hold water. At some point, TEPCO and the government will need to make a difficult decision. Until then, the groundwater will continue to seep into the ruined reactor where it becomes contaminated. So this is forever. Like I say, they can't just keep bottling up the groundwater forever and ever and ever. They need to do something with this. And it's incredible, again, to me, that they're one of the options they were thinking of was, well, let's just give up and dump it right in the ocean. Why bother bottling it at the storing it in the first place? Afterward, TEPCO can treat the contaminated water to purify it, but they can't remove the tritium, which is why the supply of water contaminated with tritium continues to grow. Japan can't simply store the radioactive water forever. As of now, the company should be able to store water until 2020. And again, incredible that they have no plans. They're not asking the world for help that we know of. Why isn't this going around the world to all the nuclear scientists of the world? Why isn't the world coming up with this solution for this? It's incredible to me that no worldwide outcry is happening. And that's because I don't think people see the immediate danger of this. TEPCO is either going to need to start releasing tritium water into the ocean, something that has been done by many power plants, but is politically popular in Japan, or find another solution. In fact, an average of 380 trillion becquerels has been annually released into the sea oceans by Japan during the 5 years before the accident. So they've been dumping radioactive water into the ocean for a long time. If the water from Fukushima is diluted to the point that tritium content is only 1 million becquerels per liter, which is more than 10 times higher than the national average for sea release, but if it's diluted, it can eventually be released. However, an industry report has determined that sea release would be the safest and most efficient option. It's incredible in this day and age. They can't come up with something better than this. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to dump it into the ocean. And this is going to cause the poisoning and the dying of the oceans, which the Bible says happens in the last days. I don't think it's completely and wholly due to Fukushima. It could be a whole number of events that occur that generally go towards and culminate in the general poisoning of the water, where humans can't really drink it anymore because it's poison, it's radioactive, etc., etc. So a little bit of an update there on Fukushima water. They're running out of time. 2020 apparently is the deadline for this. 2 years to go. And like I say, I think they're just going to start dumping it into the ocean, and maybe this is really what kicks off some of the last 8 plagues, the poisoning of the ocean, once they really start dumping this in. Something to pay attention to, guys, in End Time Bible prophecy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.